Pep Guardiola turned his attention to Arsenal after seeing his Manchester City side lose to Newcastle. The defending champions have no time to mope after a defeat that looks incredibly damaging to the Premier League title hopes because they must prepare for their next match against Unai Emery's top four challengers. Before Sunday, the Blues will be back on the training field looking to put right some shortcomings that have crept into their game. While the manager largely wrote off the performance at St James Park as an off night, he also claimed to know exactly the reason why they had come up short and promised they would analyze their issues. "We didn't commit the holding midfielders or attacking midfielders from Newcastle with enough aggression," he said. "That was the main reason. You pass the ball but with the intention to attack them and to try to make movements inside and outside and be aggressive in those positions, and we didn't do that." When it was suggested that the players may be finding it difficult to hear the manager's message, he elaborated, "We won 8 games in a row and scored 30 goals. Sometimes it happens, Wolves, and today, but sometimes it doesn't happen. It is not just that question, but in our build-up sometimes we needed to do that, and today it was more difficult to do that. It sometimes happens. The fact that it works 1 or 2 days, one day it doesn't work because they are human beings or maybe they are not fresh. I understand that completely. We spoke about what we have to do, but because I said we have to do, that doesn't mean it always happens." More of today's top city stories. When that happens, I say we have to insist on that and work on that because sometimes from outside it is clear and easy to see. Our fullbacks attack less, it's a process. When that happens, it helps the other processes and the finishing is better. Today we did it 3 or 4 or 5 times and the others times it was a little bit less, but today it was a bit more than that. We didn't too many of the long balls to Salomon, Rondon or the second balls, for example. We spoke about that as a team because they can play, but they play long balls and after the wingers go in behind, so try to be close to win the second balls, the throw-ins and all these kinds of situations. We had a problem to defend that. It was a consequence of everything. That's why tonight was not a good night.